Everyone thinks differently. So what do we see in terms of the big trends here? Anyone want to shout out? Surprise! By the way, all these answers so far, and I mean this in a good, supportive way because we're human, is congratulations, you're like everyone else. In a good way. This is a very common word cloud that we get, and here are the things that you see. We do our best thinking when we are alone, typically when it's quiet. Not always, but when it's quiet, right? Because that's when your mind can downshift. And not at work. Right? I've never, ever had a word cloud where someone said, like, on a Teams call or in a meeting or seriously, no one says it. And occasionally you get in the office, like I'm sure some people said in the office, but here's the reason why that's important. Whenever you need, critical problem solving is a real need. Being able to think and solve problems together is a real need. And what happens in organizations right now is if we want to innovate or solve something, what do? We call a meeting. Most meetings are horrible, and we haven't had time to think. So you get people together, and what happens? We come up with the same answer that we've always had, and it's very incremental. What's better? What's better is actually when you are able to think in advance. So the thing about simplification is this. Surprise, it's the front end of innovation. We get our best ideas when we are alone, but we build our best ideas when we are together. And so if we don't give people time to think or carve out deep work, it's going to be really hard for us to innovate. So one of the things you can do, by the way, I do this with my team, is I have them each carve out during the week a half day on their calendar. It is verboten to touch I mandate deep thinking. And it's really great because it sends a message to them. They can blow it off and they can do their to-do list if they want to use that half day. That's up to them. But I want them to be able to tackle big projects and be able to think. So when they come to our meetings, they've got some new ideas for me. Now, here's why you're going to be able to think, and here's the last piece. See, no one can give a presentation anymore unless you say AI. So I've said it, AI. And I mean, I don't know about you, but if the machines actually take over, they're coming for me because I am on it. I'm probably on it 8-9 hours a day. And I bet a lot of you are too. I use Claude mostly in Perplexity, and I'm doing a lot in Agentic right now, like Tasklet and other things. Why am I doing this? Because I think there has never been a better time to be human. And remember we talked about the industrial age, right? We have actually grown to become more like cogs because we're doing all the work that we're designed for machines in a machine world. And now the machines are going to take that away from us, all the mundane stuff, so we can do more of the novel and the new. And I think that's amazing. So why is AI going to help you simplify? And this is the most I'm going to have on a slide, but I think this is interesting because what we value at work is going to completely change. The whole definition is going to change. First of all, yeah, it's going to be AI supported, but it's human-led. And the reason for that is because it unlocks human potential. There are certain things that only humans right now are able to do, and it's the new and the novel and the connecting the dots. AI is great at connecting dots on the data that it has, but it's not great at connecting the dots on the data it doesn't. So we are the ones that imagine, not the AI. And what I think is really interesting about that is it shifts what value is. And so, in a good way, as a boss, it's no longer about who works the hardest. I don't care how hard you work, if you want to know. I don't. It's who contributes the most. And so AI is going to allow people to actually contribute versus just say, I worked all these hours. And that's the big shift that's coming. And I think what's going to happen then is, and get ready for it, people are going to start to feel very uncomfortable. So here's when you know you're doing it right, whether it's AI or building and thinking. So we are used to being busy. Right? You know when you have that busy off with your friend? You say, how are you? And they're like, busy. And then, of course, you go, well, I'm busy. Oh, yeah? You think you're busy. And then everyone gets into this thing, you know? And you don't realize you're doing it, but everyone's busy because that's how you're valuable. And that's going to really change at work because it's not about being busy anymore. It's not about hours. So actually, when you become unbusy and you actually have time to think, which you really wanted, unbusy is going to make you uncomfortable. And that's when you're going to know that you're doing it right. You're going to need to move through this uncomfortable phase to actually sitting with thinking and knowing that that's okay. And that's what AI is going to allow you to do, I think.